welcome to BOMISpirit. This is the weekend reading for September 23rd to the 25th. You can see we have a kitty cat who has joined us. Welcome for my newbies. Don't forget to check out everything below, website, Patreon, Vimeo. We got some cool stuff going on there. No, you can't lay down. He's been doing this all morning. And he doesn't usually lay down right in this spot. This is where I do my cards because I know he likes to sit near me. Anyway, I'll probably have to, you're being such a ham. I'll probably have to move him. Anyway, I'm sorry guys, coming back. Don't forget to check out socials as well. All of that is linked down below. So the way that this works, I'm going to go over the astrology of the weekend and I'm going to give you my 2 cents on it. Along with channeled messages and probably pulling cards as well. I've already mapped out the signs to do individual sign readings for the weekend because there's a lot going on and I wanted to make sure that it was all on point. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. So this weekend we have Mercury retrograding back into Virgo on the 23rd. He wants to be known. He wants love. He wants lots of love. And on Sunday, the 25th, we have the full moon in Libra. Now, this weekend, we do have a lot of aspects that are consistent throughout the weekend, but just know that what's going down this weekend is also part of the new moon. And new moons, full moons as well, every moon cycle, has a pretty good effect on us for a couple of weeks until we hit the next consecutive new moon or full moon. And then, round and around we go, right? So just know that what comes up this weekend might be impacting you or having an effect on you for the next couple of weeks, okay? So it's kind of like a weekend video, kind of like a full moon, new moon video, excuse me. Mercury retrograde. I did do the new moon Libra live on Patreon on Wednesday, and so it's already up on Vimeo, which I'm going to do a little post about it. But anyway, so just know that about this weekend. Communication is probably one of the biggest things going down between now and Sunday. We're going to be wanting to talk more. We're going to be wanting to communicate more. Obviously, with Mercury retrograde, there might be a little fumble here and there for everybody, but it's just par for the course. But it is going to be easier, and we're going to crave it more. Now, as we move into new moon Libra energy towards the Sunday, it's also going to become more about feelings. People are going to be confessing left and right about just what they're feeling, or even confessions of love or things they've been holding close to their chest. And I do think this is going to continue for a couple of weeks. I only say that because, again, we have the new moon on the Sunday, but also in the next couple of weeks, we do have Pluto going stationary direct. Actually, that happens the day before the full moon in Aries. Pluto going direct, I might do a little video on this, but it's going to really help us to bring things up into the physical, speaking them out loud that we've been holding close to our chest as well. Pluto's having that same effect. I'm going to do a video on it. There's a long explanation as to why, and I don't want to take up time here to talk about it, okay? Just know that that's happening over the course of the weekend. Now, another thing that's happening, we have really good aspects to help us focus and actually help us to find success in our hard work and dedication and devotion, being diligent, being on top of shit. Now, if any of you have been having any issues with work, this is a great weekend to recalibrate how you communicate and also what you need to be doing as far as work is concerned to meet any challenges that you've been facing, okay? Relationships with authority figures are going to be a little bit better. Anything that you've been struggling with as an authority figure also might be improving. Clyde, he can't help himself. Yes, so know that that's there. And of course, we have romantic energy as well, because it is a new moon Libra. We do also have Venus creating a few aspects, and we also have Jupiter in the mix with the new moon Libra energy. So we do have a little bit of this expanded, romantic, passionate, sexual, sensual energy going on. And this is, I definitely think, a time where people can be meeting new people and sparks can just fly. Now, Pluto's also doing some stuff. So keep in mind, some of this might be a little karmic. Pluto is also intensifying the sexual feelings, the sensual passions of things. So some of you could find yourself in a karmic situation, which karmic isn't bad. Karmic does not mean bad. Karmic does not equal negative. Karmic just is. Karma energy just is, right? Karmic cycles just are. We just have to go through these things, right? So these relationships can be long-term. It's practically climbing all over me. can be long-term or short-term, but they're significant. And that's really what I want to hit home on when it comes to these relationships that are coming up this weekend, or even shifts that you might be having within relationships. Because again, communication is big, right? So you might have a chance to mend things with people, resolve um, any conflicts or challenges. Maybe you haven't been talking to somebody for a while, and then it's all of a sudden they want to talk, or you're thinking about them and you want to talk things out. This is a great weekend for that. No matter what you're encountering this weekend, it's going to be significant for your long-term path. We also have some North Node stuff going on. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot going on this weekend. I'm going to break it all down for you, though. Don't worry. I just recommend for this weekend being open-minded, to the people that are coming into your space, that are presenting themselves, along with the opportunities that are presenting themselves. I would take a lot of this energy to focus on things that you've personally struggled with, because there's a high chance of success and overcoming challenges this weekend. I also would really encourage, how do I say, try not to lean too far into impulsivity, gullibility, or indulgence. Really good probability that if you lean into those energies this weekend, it could backfire on you. And yes, there are some opportunities that might ask you to take a risk here this weekend, because of some of the aspects we have going on. You can take a risk without being impulsive about it, right? Yeah, that would be my recommendation. Now, as far as romance and relationships go, when I say relationships, I also mean friendships and working relationships. A lot of beautiful things can happen this weekend. Share yourself. Be open. Show people who you are. Talk about what you feel. Talk about what you have been challenged with, especially as we get closer to the full moon Aries. This cat. Especially as we get closer to the full moon Aries, it's going to be to your benefit to really show people all of you, including your struggles. People will see you. People will see your humanity, and also people will be more inclined to support you and rally around you. I really am speaking to Aries too, like anybody who has strong Aries in their chart or your Aries rising. Really, really promising for Aries as well. I only say that because it came up yesterday in the New Moon Live that I did for Libra. Okay, so that's what's going down. So let's get down into the details. If I can move this cat. Excuse me. Thank you. Oh, did I disturb you? I wish you guys can see him, because he really is being a ham. Actually, I'm going to have to move him. Come here, mister. Come here. Don't dead weight me. Okay. Can you just stay here? Is that okay? Alrighty. Let's get into this. So I'm going to talk about the aspects that are present all weekend, and then I'm going to get into the flow of Friday, Saturday to Sunday. Okay. So the sun is opposing Jupiter all weekend. It is strongest the day after the new moon, very strong on the day of the new moon as well. This is making us feel joyful and optimistic and happy, and also making us feel like luck is kind of on our side. Beautiful energy to be in, beautiful energy to harness and appreciate. Again, careful of leaning into indulgence or impulsivity with all this Venusian energy that we have going on. There's also some Neptune stuff going on too. I'm going to talk about that later. It could backfire. There is a fixed star that's working with Jupiter closer to the new moon and also the following Monday. Sometimes I'm terrible at pronouncing fixed stars' names because sometimes they're in another language. This one's not. It's just kind of funky. Deneb-Kaitos. It sits at Aries 2 degrees. It's associated with self-destruction. So watch the impulsivity and indulgence and all of that stuff, okay? But enjoy it. It's a beautiful energy to enjoy, okay? Now, another one that's with us all weekend is Mars in Gemini trine Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn is still retrograding in Aquarius. Mars is still at a pre-shadow retrograde phase, which it goes retrograde on October 30th. Go ahead and check out the Mars retrograde videos that I did. Really beneficial. It's a whole 6-month cycle. It's half a year. I really recommend checking out those videos if you are curious what's coming up for you, okay? But this is great because even though Saturn, it can be a little bit of a harsh energy, like it applies pressure and it's retrograding, this is beautiful. It's bringing dedication. It's bringing a longing and desire to be devoted, to be dedicated to something for the long term. This is your long-term goals, long-term relationships, long-term deals, negotiations, things like that. So it's really great for business. It's really great for negotiations. It's really great if you need to get your ducks in a row, especially if you've been challenged with anything recently. Now, as far as relationships go, yes, this aspect can lean towards marriage. marriage material, if you will. But with everything else going on this weekend, I really want to emphasize this. Anything is possible when it comes to relationships this weekend with this energy. I know there are a lot of people saying that this new moon is really like a lot of romantic energy and deepening of relationships, and that's totally there. But from what I was seeing too, there is the possibility to backslide. There is the possibility to repeat patterns and cycles here, given what I was seeing. So yes, there's potential here, but there's also a lot more to life than romance and relationships. Okay. Just saying. Just give my 2 cents. The other thing I want to mention, there is a fixed star also very close to where Saturn is called Castra at 20 degrees Aquarius. This is perfect for what this aspect is doing for where Saturn's positioned, because Castra is about protection and fortifying, strengthening, and this aspect is perfect for that. Now let's talk a little bit about Mercury and Venus. So Mercury and Venus are doing a lot through the course of the weekend and also under the new moon. Mercury and Venus are both going to be trine Pluto the entire weekend, and it's going to be strongest towards the end. Well, actually more like Monday, Tuesday is when it actually peaks for both of them, but still very strong under the new moon Libra. Pluto likes to intensify, and Pluto is also helps with analytical perspectives and psychological states. So when it's trine Mercury in Virgo, it can really bring up that magician-like energy with persuasion and manipulation and trickstery energy. Again, some of these words sound negative. They're not. It just is what it is, right? So if you need to persuade your boss to give you promotion, or you're trying to mend a relationship and it's been hard to get people to see your side, use it for that. Use the powers for good. There might be people not using these powers for good, but you can use them for good and to your benefit, okay? Venus trine Pluto, I mentioned this earlier, intensifies feelings and passions, emotions, and sexual energy. It also can bring about situations that have karmic pulls, karmic ties, karmic cycles associated with them. So if you are dealing with a relationship right now that's been teaching you a lot, putting you through the ringer, or a new one is coming up, it could potentially do that for you as well. Again, these are not bad situations. It's all for the benefit of our personal growth and learning and growing as people and souls. Okay. But that karmic energy is there. Like when I was doing the reading yesterday on Patreon, I think it was actually for Virgo, which makes so much sense because Venus is in Virgo, right? Virgo, yeah, it had to be Virgo. Anyway, I kept channeling like this undeniable pull into a situation that like Virgo could not avoid, and I was like, oh no, my God, Virgo. But it's not bad. It just is. It just is. Now, the other thing, Venus is opposing Neptune. This is a really important thing I wanted to mention, that yes, while we have this beautiful romantic energy that should be enjoyed and embraced, we still have to be aware. We still have to be self-aware. Venus opposing Neptune can lean towards being gullible or gullibility and being susceptible to deception and illusions and not really seeing things very clearly. This is actually strongest on Friday, and it starts to pitter off, which is great because it's strongest before the new moon energy hits, but it's also strongest when we have some of the most romantic energies. So something to keep in mind, right? Have your fun, get lost in the thrill of life and love and excitement. Don't totally lose your head. Just stay self-aware, especially if you've been needing to learn or integrate lessons with being gullible or impulsive or indulgent or having boundaries or dealing with addictions, dealing with codependencies. This is a time where anyone could potentially backslide if they're not staying on top of themselves, if they're not staying aware, or if they haven't really learned and solidified those lessons. And if you haven't, that's okay too. No judgment here. Maybe you need another go around for it to really sink in, right? We're all human. We've all been there. We've all repeated lessons. Every single one of us has. The last aspect for the weekend I want to talk about before getting into the flow of the weekend is Saturn square Uranus. So I've been talking about this on and off for the last probably a couple months, maybe a month, maybe a couple months. Anyway, no matter. Saturn square Uranus is an aspect that we have a lot of experience with during the pandemic. I forget if it was 2021 or 2020. It might have been 2021, where Saturn went square with Uranus 3 times in that year. And it was to teach us adaptability. It was to teach us how to feel more solid and secure when our world falls apart, or when our world, gets turned on its head and we feel like we can't make any changes, but changes are thrust upon us and it's not what we want. And oh my God, what do we do? Right? It's that kind of energy. And here it is again, but this is the last time we're going to experience this for a while, like a very long time, with Saturn in Aquarius square Uranus and Taurus. It's going to be a very, very long time before we ever see this again. But this time it feels different. Like I was talking about this yesterday on Patreon. It feels not as intense. It doesn't feel as harsh. If anything, it feels like it's creating like the pressure. The pressure is there, but it's almost like to a completion. Like it's building up pressure to a breaking point to complete something is intuitively how it feels to me when I tap into it and what it's doing for the collective. That to me says breakthrough. A lot of breakthroughs also to come in the next couple of weeks and also over the course of the weekend. And this aspect is playing a role in that. But that's what this aspect can bring. It can just bring the sense of pressure, anxiety of I'm trying to do things, I'm trying to make changes, trying to start things or end things, and I'm having trouble doing it, or things are getting in my way, or external factors make you feel restricted or suddenly change your life in ways that you don't want shit to change, and you can feel kind of stuck in it. But it's to really challenge your sense of control, right? We really don't have any control over things. It's like a lot, as humans, we like to believe we do. But we have very little control over most things, right? But that's why this aspect is, that's why I want to talk about this aspect. Now, this aspect is peaking on the 1st of October, 1st, 2nd, but I really think it's the 1st of October. And that's in the next couple of weeks. So this weekend, while it is this weekend, a weekend reading, it's really a reading for the next couple of weeks. Now, going into the flow from Friday to Saturday to Sunday, we start off with very mercurial energy. We have the sun conjunct Mercury. Now that starts to pitter out, and by Sunday it is part of the new moon energy, but it's not strong. And not strong enough to, I think, even be considered. But we start the weekend off with kind of being in our heads a little bit, really wanting to communicate, really being focused on our communication and making plans and orchestrating things, that sort of deal. And again, that gets easier through the course of the weekend, where we start to just want to talk to everybody, and the people that we're close to or need to mend things with, easier time to confess our feelings and mend those relationships and do what needs to be done. Or if you're trying to make, a deal, or you're at work and you got to talk to the boss, time to persuade. Right? And then we move into Saturday. Saturday's interesting. Saturday's very interesting. There's a lot going down on Saturday because the moon is moving from Virgo to Libra throughout the weekend. Virgo is going to be really important when you look at your chart for this weekend and also for the new moon Libra, but we're getting there. So Saturday, there's 2 big shifts that are happening literally on Saturday. Of course, that might be a little different depending where you are in the world, but here's what's going down. As the moon is moving through Virgo, when it hits Saturday, it's going to start to interact with Uranus, the North Node, and Chiron. This is that Chiron energy, North Node, the Chiron North Node Uranus energy. That's something that we have been dealing with on and off for months now. It feels like an eternity. It really realistically has probably only been since July. Maybe. It feels like forever, though. Maybe even shorter than that. This Chiron North Node Uranus energy cocktail, if you will, for the collective, and I've talked about it to death, but it's still here, and the Saturday it's bringing brought up into our faces. It's about letting go. Shedding narratives, shedding programs, shedding wounds, how we identify with ourselves and how we identify with our surroundings, like all of that. All of that. For some of us, it's been taking us really deep within ourselves, with Pluto acting as an assist, but really deep within ourselves to see the parts of ourselves that aren't true to us, don't really work towards the person that we're becoming, and really need to be released and let go. But it is about identity wounding. Okay. Also wounds around how we assert ourselves, how we go after things, how we even protect ourselves, coping mechanisms, a lot of deep, deep, deep things. Okay. But the cool thing is with this, with the way that they're all interacting with each other, the moon is trying the north node, and then Chiron is actually creating a bridge between the moon and the north node, and the moon and north node are working with each other. So this is great because it is also helping us to move along a collective path and also a new established path for the individual we're trying to birth. We're being birthed in the next couple weeks, by the way, collectively and individually. Pluto has a hand in that. I talk extensively about this over on Patreon, so check that out. But we are being birthed over the next couple of weeks. Chiron's been helping us with this birth process to push us out of the birth canal, shedding these old versions of ourselves. And these old versions are not just things we've experienced in this life either. Some of it's been very old, okay? Like I made that video about the cords are dissolving. That's also part of it too. It's a really, really deep shedding. It's not what we've been used to when it comes to shadow work and all that stuff, okay? But it's helping us towards a collective path, and it's helping us to embrace a path where we have a new sense of ourselves, a new sense of a new perspective on materials, a new perspective on money, a new perspective on what it is to have a life that's stable and solid and secure. All that Taurus energy. Okay, so there's that. So that's coming up on Saturday. And it might feel kind of intense. It might feel heavy. You might cry, but it's helping us to have breakthroughs with this whole process. And as we're having this breakthrough, I know, kitty cat, then the moon keeps moving, right? Moon keeps moving. And now it's going to go square Mars in Gemini, and it's going to go trine Uranus, and it's going to go sextile Saturn. And when I saw the square with Mars, I first got a little nervous, and then I realized with the way Mars and Saturn are working together, and Saturn in a sextile with the moon, it's actually going to be really great, because the moon square Mars can sometimes make us like easy to be frustrated, short-tempered. It really creates a desire to succeed is what it does. But if it's not happening or we're not focusing that energy, we're not taming that energy, we're not just impulsively trying to do it, then it can really work out. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you're really impulsive, if you don't focus this energy, you don't ground this kind of intense Mars energy, because it's going to bring you more vitality and more of a desire to succeed and meet your challenges. If you don't do that, it can go haywire. It can make you frustrated and angry and get you into fights and just feeling restless and agitated. But with Saturn being there with the moon, Saturn can help focus that energy, which is exactly what's needed to keep that kind of Mars energy in line. And then we have the trine Uranus energy, which is excitement and changes and wanting to try new things. So it's a day of continuing to break away from the old, continuing to shed our very, very old selves, brand spanking new, and to keep going forward, keep moving forward, keep meeting our challenges, stay focused. I have a candle lit, so I just don't want him to knock it down. It should be out of his way. You have to be very crafty to knock that over. But anyway, we can head towards success. This is level up time. Level up time and focus on moving forward on Saturday, okay? Then we hit Sunday. We hit the new moon in Libra. Now, when we move into Sunday, because the new moon is actually pretty late in the day, it's in the evening, East Coast time. It's almost like 6 o'clock at night, East Coast time. Adjust that for where you are. But we move into Sunday. We have Mercury conjunct Venus, which really opens us up emotionally to talk and spill and confess. But earlier in the day, the moon is actually conjunct Venus, and the moon is also opposing Neptune. Influx of romantic energy. Influx of mystery and romance and passion and all of that, and really wanting emotional intimacy. Now, when we hit the apex of the new moon, this energy actually isn't as prominent because, you know, the moon moves so fast. But we start the day off with it, for sure. Enjoy it. Like I said, enjoy it. Just be aware. Be aware. You've learned your lessons. Cement and integrate those lessons if you're a little like wobbly on them. Watch the gullibility. Watch the impulsivity. Watch the indulgence, especially when the moon goes conjunct Venus and goes opposition to Neptune. Watch the indulgence. It's backfire. Okay? So that's what's going down this weekend. Now, As far as looking at where this could be affecting you for the weekend, I would really focus on the house of Virgo. There's other things going on too that I'm going to mention, but if you're going to look at anything, look at the house of Virgo. The moon moves through the entire house of Virgo throughout the weekend, only to land on the new moon in the evening, East Coast time, on Sunday at 2 degrees Libra. Focus on Virgo. Mercury's going to be in Virgo. The sun's going to be moving from Virgo to, well, actually, no, sun's going to be in Libra. Excuse me, correcting myself. But it's also going to be in Venus. Okay. Yeah, focus on Virgo. If you want a specific degree range, I would actually look at Virgo 25 degrees to Libra 5 degrees. It's a big range, but it's going to help you for the weekend and for the next couple of weeks for the new moon energy influence. I would look to Aquarius and Gemini as a support system. There's a lot of support and grounding to be found through Aquarius and Gemini, through Saturn and Mars working together. If you want to look at those, you can. Aquarius, Gemini, 15 to 20 degrees. And then I also would look at Pluto. I'd take a look at Capricorn. 25 to 29 degrees is also going to help with breakthroughs. Okay. And again, if you want to, I don't think you need to. I don't think it's necessary. The houses of Taurus and Aries, that's that Chiron North Node energy that's continuing to shed. And they're neighbors, right? Aries and Taurus, they're neighbors. So you could look to those houses and you could actually just see and reflect in your own way, in your own time. Like, yeah, I could see how I've been like shedding things in that house of my life, you know, but not totally necessary. Okay, so that's what's going down this weekend. All right, Aries, let's look at you. Aries, you've been going through quite a bit of a transformation. There's a few signs that are in that same boat as you. I do feel you're going to find support from people if you allow them to, if you give permission, if you give yourself permission to be very honest and open and communicative with people, especially how you've been struggling, how you've been challenged. It feels like your ego's been challenged is how it's been feeling, is how it feels to me. You'll be very surprised that people actually see what you're capable of, but it's almost like that's been eluding you recently. Yeah, it's almost like your sense of how you can assert yourself, how you feel empowered and powerful and capable and confident out in the world with doing things and what have you within your relationships has been really, really challenged. But if you're open and honest with people, I think you're going to be very, very surprised at what people present back to you. I just feel support. I feel support with that. I'm also feeling like contracts, feeling opportunities here for you. Yeah, especially that 6th house, 7th house energy. I'm feeling contracts and opportunities, but it feels like it's assisted. It feels like it's help. It feels like people want to help you. I keep feeling like you got a little bit of resistance or maybe even a little bit of shame around that, but it's really going to work in your favor if you allow it to happen. I'm hearing team. It's a team effort. For some reason, I'm also getting this too. It's like I think I'm tapping into a struggle you've been having for probably a couple years, maybe even more than a couple years, of having a team on your side. Trusting people with that. Yeah, you've struggled with trusting a team or team effort in whatever way that's coming through in your life, whether that's family or work, just even having friends as a support system, trusting that you have a team that's on your side. But to have that, you need to be vulnerable, right? You need to be vulnerable. You need to be open. You need to show people what's really going on. You need to show people your humanity, not superhero, not almost called you Virgo, not superhero Aries, right? But hey, here's the real Aries. Yeah. If you show people your humanity, people are going to rally around you. Interesting. All right. Let's go ahead and pull cards. We're going to do Runic Tarot. Can I get a card for Aries, please? It's so hot here. Try not to like sweat on camera too much. Can I get a card for Aries, please, for the weekend? Card for Aries for weekend energy. I'm hearing humility. Humility is a word coming through for you. Oh, you got three. You got three. Wow. Wow. So we have death, the Ace of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. There's also an Eight of Wands energy there. Yeah, see, Aries, it's like, I feel like you've really been wanting to have a change. You've really been wanting to not struggle so much with these feelings of how you assert yourself, how you, like, what you're capable of, your skill sets, what you bring to the table, all of that. It just feels like that's been really challenged, and it feels humbling. It feels like your ego's been really triggered through the whole process. And the Nine of Wands also screams that, like, you've been kind of guarded because it's just been a lot. It's been a lot for you. But that change is right there. It's right there. It's right there. And you really desire it with the Ace of Wands. Like, you're ready to do things a little differently, but it requires that vulnerability. It requires you to drop out of the Nine of Wands. That's what it requires. And it's happening through the Eight, which is communication and movement, right? But death, it's funny because the Ace of Wands being here, I literally am looking at it like the first sign, Aries, is like how I'm actually seeing it. Like, it's weird, which I know it's not what it is, but that's how it's coming through. You've been going through a major transformation, a major breakdown, honestly, is what it feels like to me, a major breakdown of your defenses, of your ego. Yeah. Yeah. But it's time. It's time, Aries. It's time. What else is coming through here? You have a fight about you. You're Aries. Why wouldn't you, right? This fight energy is going to help you if you can focus it. If you can focus it, if you can ground it, if you can just have it on one or two goals and pace yourself and not be like, I got to do it now. If you try to like force it, I don't think it's going to work out well, but it's nice. And I think because you have so much of it, it's going to work out great. Yeah. Yeah. Saturday is going to be interesting for you, Aries. Saturday, I feel like, is going to be quite a day for my Aries people. All right, so let's move on. All right, let's get into Taurus. Hey, Taurus. All right, let's see what you're working with here. I see money for you. Actually, I'm okay. Getting quite a few things too here for you, Taurus. You've been changing a lot as well, very similar to Aries. Well, Aries has been more about like a breaking down of ego. Taurus, I feel like for you, it's actually just been about expanding. Yeah, you've been needing to expand your mind. It's almost like you've been reaching a new level of consciousness. I feel like you've been dragged through it kicking and screaming, though. I'm just being really honest with you. That's literally how I'm seeing it. Yeah, you've been dragging your feet through it, kicking and screaming. That doesn't even make sense. You've been dragged through it kicking and screaming. I feel like you've been fighting the process. You've been resisting it. It's been a long process, though, and I feel like as time has gone on, you've been resisting it less and less and less. But it's beautiful because if you allow yourself to really expand your mind, open your mind, let yourself see, like, how do I explain this? Like, to not be so rigid, like not so like black and white about things, like this is the right way, this is the wrong way. You've been learning how being open-minded actually helps everybody and also helps you grow and helps you expand. Also, I'm feeling some of you are learning how that could even grow your personal finances. I'm feeling a lot of work in finances for you, Taurus. A lot of that so this just came in. Some of you have had a long-term plan in place and it got detoured. like seriously detoured. Like maybe this was like a 5-year plan or 3-year plan, and you were like at the last month and it blew up for whatever reason or another, almost like your world crashed apart. But it happened so you could see that there are different ways of achieving happiness, joy, fulfillment, or reaching your goals. And there might have been something about it that maybe wasn't actually going to work for you. But you've been learning a lot about adaptability. A lot. I see that. Again, the stuff that's coming up for this weekend, it is affecting us for the next couple of weeks. But a lot of the stuff here I'm feeling has been like prolonged processes, like months and years for some of you. Excuse me. Yeah. Some of you, I see new opportunities and investments. It's beautiful. Some of you are also having fun. Yeah, some of you are getting into some new projects. Yeah, some of you are getting into some new projects. I'm also seeing some of you guys having some fun, like play, like actually playing, making more room for that, especially after such a long period of things being so rough and struggling. Okay. Can I get a card for Taurus for the weekend? Oh, I didn't do my little spiel about how to look at this, about how to, like, you know, interpret what I'm telling you as far as like the astrology of it. Oh well. If you need that, watch one of my older videos. Taurus. Can I get a card for Taurus, please? Hold on, guys. Don't knock anything over. Can I get a card for Taurus? Let's see. Ooh, look at you, Taurus. We have the Hanged Man with the 3 of Cups. Like I said, you've been in a process that's about reaching new levels of consciousness, really opening your mind, really opening your perspective to see how there is no right, there is no wrong. There's different ways of finding stability and success and achieving goals. The Hanged Man teaches us that. The Hanged Man is about spiritual growth, right? And with the 3 of Cups right there, you're reaching levels of joy and support and fun, and you're able to kind of come out of this really serious, stagnated period of time, a struggle period of time, to go out and have a little bit of fun. You've made it. You've really learned a lot. You learned a lot, and now you can do something with what you've learned. It's beautiful. Good times are coming back, Taurus. All right, so Gemini, moving on to Gemini. Oh, my Jimmy Gems. Geminis, it looks like you've been wrapping some stuff up. Seeing some karmic stuff being wrapped up, patterns being wrapped up, lessons being wrapped up. Relying on your faith, relying on your spirituality, relying on what you know to be true about yourself has been helping you through this. But it's been hard because you've been going through an evolution too. God, everybody's going through evolution. It's a big theme of the day. But you've been going through a little bit of an evolution too. I feel like definitely you've also been embracing the parts of you that you might be concerned that people don't find acceptable. Things that would be considered, not so mainstream or weird or taboo, things of that nature. But learning that that's okay, and learning that those parts are just as good as the other parts. And you've been doing a lot of integration with that. Yeah, you're doing a lot of integration with that. I'm getting such a sadness though. Like I shifted into like Mercury, Venus to feel what's going on there for you. And I feel sadness. Mercury and Venus are affecting your 4th, 5th houses respectively. Now, when I say that, I'm looking at the whole house system, but I'm looking at that Virgo Libra range. So I could be hitting you guys in different places depending on your chart. Look at your chart for your own discernment there. But I have to do a whole house system. And this is why I do the spiel ahead of time, because I don't know your exact charts, right? Everyone has different degrees going on, but that's why I use whole house system. But I feel sadness there. I feel almost like I feel like something that you've been actually facing is disappointment and sadness with not being accepted in the past. And so as you're integrating these parts of yourself that you have had a hard time accepting and you're learning to accept them, it's also bringing up grief of how other people really haven't accepted that. And these are people that, you know, you might have been like having fun with and being social, or even like down to family and really intimate relationships. There's that going down too. So much stuff coming in. Some of you guys are also remodeling your home. I'm getting like stuff changing in the house. You could be moving or changing houses, but I feel like that's also really helpful for you though. Like really creating an environment that really supports all of your needs and all of you and the aspects of you that you are getting reacquainted with and reintegrating. So over the course of the weekend, you know, I feel like when we hit Saturday, Saturday is going to be the day for everybody where things are a little intense. Things go a little cray-cray. All right. Again, there's fun to be had throughout the entire weekend. Please have your fun. But Geminis, when we hit Saturday, you might have a period of time on Saturday where you're really sad. You might need a good cry. You might need a good scream. Might need something cathartic. And then I feel like you're going to move into such an empowered energy. I do feel conversations too. I think Cancer might have this because I'm getting Cancer's already pulling on me. Cancer, wait your turn. The Geminis, yeah, I'm definitely feeling conversations with people from the past, people in your present. You might be on the phone a lot on Saturday or through the course of the weekend. Okay. Yeah, it's like I just feel this like somber energy with it. Something else that's coming through Gemini is you're reintegrating these parts of yourselves that you are like pulling back up and out and learning to love and all of that. There are also parts that are kind of dark, or you would consider dark. Dark is not bad. It just is, right? Everybody has darkness, what have you. You're learning how it can be a superpower though. And that's the other thing too, like our darkness, there's a reason we have darkness. There's a reason we need it, because we actually can use it as a superpower to protect ourselves or to do what needs to be done sometimes, right? And you're realizing that maybe parts of you that other people find distasteful or they really don't like actually works to your benefit. Might actually protect you in certain circumstances. It's not to say that you're gonna be more of a dark person or a mean person or a negative person. It's not to say that. When you're really integrated well with your own darkness, you do move into a state of empowerment, but it doesn't make you a bad person. You're not suddenly going to become a dick like overnight. It's not about that. It's also going to help you with boundaries too. Can I get a card for Gemini for the weekend? Can I get a card for Gemini, please, for the weekend? Gemini, I'm also getting the word ideas. Ideas. Some of you might feel like you are a scattered person, or like you get so many ideas that, I don't know, I feel shame around ideas with you. I feel shame there for some reason. Like maybe you were shamed for talking a lot or bringing a lot of ideas to the table, or maybe people thought all your ideas were just always scattered or not grounded in reality. But this is just something that's coming through. So whoever needs to hear this, but you're realizing what a gift that is. You're realizing what a beautiful gift that is. Can I get a card for Gemini, please? Gemini, you might also be meeting some people at this time too. It's going to be if you do meet people over the weekend, it's going to be a beautiful opportunity to really show all of you, all the crazy Gemini, all the sides, the light and the dark and everything in between, all the gray, show all the gray of Gemini, because Gemini, you got a lot of gray. That's the thing too, because Gemini, like when you think of Gemini energy, you think of the twins, right? You think of that extreme duality. But that's also the beauty of it, because you're everything in between. So like lower vibrational Gemini energy can be good, evil, right? The total extreme opposites. But highly evolved Gemini energy is interconnectedness, right? All things are true. All aspects are true and present at all times, right? Unity. Showing the new people that are coming in, the unified Gemini not the separated, dualistic Gemini that was forced to suppress certain parts of yourself out of shame. Can I get a card for Gemini, please? Ooh, interesting. So Knight of Wands came out in reverse. Sagittarius, you're 1-7. This feels angry. Just being honest. This feels angry. I don't like it. I don't like it, Gemini. Are you angry? Someone angry at you? This might be you a little bit on Saturday. Like I said, on Saturday, it feels like you're going to need some catharsis. That might be your catharsis, but I can feel it. It's anger. It's anger. Can I get another card for Gemini? You guys got 2 more. Wow. Yeah, it's anger. Devil and the 4 of Cups. Okay, so Gemini, this is stuff that I really want to say very strongly is coming up on Saturday. It is a reflection of some stuff that you've been challenged with over the last couple months, and especially over the last couple of years. Okay, and it does relate to things that you need to close out, patterns, karmic cycles, that sort of deal here. But I do feel anger, and with the Devil and the 4 of Cups, I do feel depression. I feel coping mechanisms, a little bit of anxiety, but I just feel like needing to numb or just being really unsatisfying, being really unhappy because there has been a part of you that you're needing to really love and accept and bring back into and integrate into Gemini here. But the Knight of Wands in reverse energy, it's angry. It's angry because this needs to be dealt with. Because this needs to be dealt with. So if you get angry out of nowhere, there's a reason. There's a deeper reason. If you get mad at somebody, I'm also getting this too, that some of you might have a person or persons in your life that when you think about them or they come around you or they try to talk to you, you just get really fucking angry and you're not even sure why, because there's some deep shit there. And they actually might be related to the trigger, or they might actually even be the person that contributed to you suppressing that part of you and sent you the message in some way, shape, or form, especially if this is family, that part of you is unacceptable or whatever. Yeah, you got some stuff to deal with this weekend, Gemini. Deal with it. Please deal with it. Okay? All right, Cancer. Hey, Cancers. Let's see what we have for you here. Oh, Pluto in the 7th house. Cancer rising. I totally get it. It's been rough. It's been a little rough. So you're dealing with some darkness too, Cancer. You're dealing with darkness too. This was something that was coming up for water signs, and I am seeing it here again. Water signs, you're going to be encouraged to go out and about, to be out of your shell, to be vulnerable, to be really open and really share yourself. And Cancer, I can see it that's coming through for you. Might be a little uncomfortable, but it will really benefit you. Okay? It will really, really benefit you. I feel like friendships. I feel a lot of friendships that can be born at this time or mended or deepened at this time as well. If you give yourself the permission. Give yourself the permission to do so. Okay? Your intuition, this is coming through. This is nice. Your intuition, your ability to empathize, like the magic of Cancer, and also the magic of being a water sign, to see what other people can't see, right? See the depth, see the voids of people, see what people are really experiencing, feeling, whatever, what have you, is going to be your superpower this weekend. It's actually going to help you to better communicate with other people. I was feeling this for Scorpio too. It's going to help you a lot here. I feel like you've also been struggling when it comes to relationships. I also feel a questioning when it comes to serious relationships, bonded relationships, like marriages, romantic relationships, business relationships, those kinds of things that make you obligated to people. There's been a lot of questioning of yourself through those relationships, and probably since Pluto's been in your 7th house, so probably for a few years now. That will shift soon. But it's taught you a lot about yourself. It's taught you a lot about yourself. And I also feel what has been sacrificed through relationships as well, what you've given up in relationships, what you've given up when it comes to, your needs. But anyway, sorry. So when it comes to the weekend, hold on. The idea of what you want for yourself is changing too. That has been changing. What's possible for you, like when it comes to the path of your life, is changing. Some of you have definitely been dealing with self-worth, inadequacy issues. That's been improving though. That's been improving. You can forge a path of anything that is possible, but you've been slowly moving into like really truly confidently believing that. I feel like you've really had a battle when it comes to relationships though, and I feel like it has been distracting, but it's been teaching you more about yourself so that you can understand this about your own path and how you can forge your own path and look out for yourself. But anyway, when it comes to the weekend, I see talking, I see friendships, I see times with friends. It feels really nice. It feels really comforting, cozy. So I would capitalize on that. Okay. Your intuition, your empathy is going to help you in that arena too. Can I get a card for my Cancers, please? Can I get a card for my Cancers, please? It's hard to stay comfortable. Can I get a card for Cancer for the weekend? Let's see. Oh, the Tower. So I said this on Patreon. For the new moon in Libra and even like the weekend or like the next like week or two, breakthroughs for a lot of people. The Tower, I just kept getting breakthrough. And here it is coming through in your reading here. Breakthrough. Your communication with people is really, really improving here, Cancer, and like finding a comfort with it. I feel like some of you really battle social anxiety. You're having breakthroughs in this arena. Can I get one more for Cancer? Let's see. Whoa! Whoa! Wow. Judgment, King of Cups, and the Four of Wands. Some of you, this might be happening within a relationship, and it's bringing the love, man. It's bringing the love. It's bringing the stability. It's bringing the commitment for those of you where you're looking for that. Also, Cancer, I feel like you have learned to embrace your inner King of Cups. You are a natural Queen of Cups at heart, but the King of Cups helps to it's not tame the waters. You can't tame the waters, but it's a mastery of water, right? It's a mastery of emotion. It's like the indestructible avenue of love. I don't know another way to explain this. The King of Cups, if you can be in a solid King of Cups energy, your connection to your heart space, your emotions, your emotional needs can almost never be severed just because of the shit that goes down around you. It's solid. It's solid. It's present. It's fixed. It's fixed water. Wow. So Cancer, I feel like you're having a personal breakthrough this weekend and embracing this energy for yourself, especially with Judgment being there. Judgment, as you guys know, it's when the divine gets involved. The divine comes in and it's basically like a big flag of, hey, hey, this way, this direction, very significant opportunity, path, circumstance you're finding yourself in right now. That just feels like a big thumbs up from Spirit. You're finding emotional security and stability within yourself. You're finding it within relationships. And as a result of that, any significant relationships you have, especially if they're romantic, could be leveling up this weekend. It's a big, big breakthrough for you, Cancer. And I'm loving this. I am loving this for you. It just feels like anxiety that you've been having around relationships and even yourself and how to feel emotionally stable when no one's around or things go awry. Like, you're having a breakthrough. You're finding it. It's awesome. It's so awesome. I love it. Wow, what a reading. Okay, Leos. So human. All right. Leos, let's take a look at you. Saturn in the 7th house. So you've been having a rough go with relationships too. Leos, I actually feel like you've been... Hi, Clydester. As you take up more space. Leos, you've been really focused on yourself. You've been really focused on your own life. This came through on Patreon too, where it's like you've been resetting the bones of your life, like the structure of your life, the foundation, like the the container of your life, like your housing, what your life looks like day to day, you know, that sort of deal. So you've been really struggling financially. I definitely see that too. But I also feel like relationships have been compromised. So Leo, you've been going through a bit of a struggle. I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. Something like your belief system is coming up here. What is this? A couple of things are coming up here, like being the one that people look to. That's coming up pretty strongly. The one that people look to. I think this is something you've been suffering with, feeling like you're not meeting that standard. You're not meeting that expectation to be the one that people look to for guidance, for support, as looking to you like literally as an example of integrity, or an example of success, an example of leadership. I keep hearing as an example, as an example, as an example. You feel like you've been falling short as that example in whatever way that comes through in your life, but that feels long term. It feels like deep suffering too. I feel like your belief system around that has been, I'm going to say, nudged to change, poked at, triggered to change, to relieve the pressure on yourself. And while that's been going on, I can see it. You've been struggling financially, or at least with the bones of your life, right? You've been learning a lot there, and how to recoup loss. That just came up too. I'm feeling debt. Like I'm feeling a lot of finances with my Leos here, but it feels like you haven't had a lot of emotional support from people either. I feel like that's going to change soon. Kind of similar to Aries, where Aries is going to be finding a lot of support in people if they're open and communicative there. At Leos, I feel like you can find the same. Yeah, I feel like you can find the same, especially if you've had any relationships that have been struggling, where you just feel like you're not appreciated as much, you're not respected as much. Like time to just say it, you know, time to just say and be like, look, here's what I've been struggling with. Here's what has been like what I've been silently. I feel like it's been a silent suffering. What I've been silently suffering with. You might be surprised at what comes of that this weekend. I feel like you're also getting inspired to stay focused on, again, resetting the bones of your life, getting things in order, and that's going to work out well for you too. So again, I'd recommend being open to people that you've been having a hard time with and really being honest about everything you've been struggling with, because I feel shame around feeling like you're falling short as an example, like being an example of some sort of level of success or leadership or what have you. It's very clear here. That's because your foundation's needed. This is just more stuff coming through. That's because your foundation has been needing to change. It's just been needing to change. There's been some stuff that you have historically built your life upon that just doesn't align with where the collective is going, doesn't align with the person you're becoming. And that's just the truth of it. And in resetting the bones of your life, you're actually creating a stronger skeleton for it, which is perfect. And then you can put more meat on there. Build it up. You might also be getting some assistance too, and a helping hand. I do feel like, again, if you're very honest, you might be getting inspired by people that they're giving you ideas, or they're actually helping you out. Okay. All right, let's get a card for Leo. Can I get a card for Leo, please? Be aware that, Leos, you might also encounter an evolution of a relationship. This just came in. Some of you might experience a friend becoming more than a friend, or some of you have been dating becoming more of a long-term sort of relationship, or even a business relationship. I feel like elevation of a relationship is happening here for some of my Leos. Can I get a card for Leo, please, for the weekend? And then after Virgo, we're going to switch the deck. Can I get a card for Leo for the weekend? Let's see. Oh, yes, Leo. It is time. It is time. We have the Ten of Swords with the Wheel of Fortune. It is time for things to not be such a freaking struggle anymore. It's time. It's time for the bones to finally be fully reset. You've reset the foot, the ankle, the leg, it's time to be done. Do the final bones. Like it's time. I really feel like you've been suffering a lot. You've been worried, you've been anxious, and you've been doing it on your own. And you don't have to, and it's time to change that. Okay? Talk, let it out, reach out to people, see what comes your way. And especially with Jupiter at play. Remember, Jupiter is opposing the sun, and on the new moon, it's opposing the new moon itself. And even if it's in opposition, it still brings luck. And here we have the Wheel of Fortune. If you let yourself be honest and open and let the, drop the ego go a little bit about needing to be an example of something, an example of integrity or standard or what have you, I feel like people are going to help you out. And the opportunities you've been needing, the help you've been needing is going to show up. Okay? I was putting all my cards there, but there's a kitty cat. All right, Virgo. Hey, Virgos. Let's see here. Okay. So Virgos, I see you've also been learning to kind of let go a little bit, let your hair down a little bit. This came up in Patreon too. But still being on top of your shit though. Like, how do I say this? I feel like you have been growing and maturing and learning how to have more of a whole balanced life. Yeah, like things that you're really good at, that you're natural at, you've been doing and you're great at it. But I can see you've been pushed and encouraged to embrace other parts of life that normally you don't, or that you don't feel comfortable with. I can see you learning how to just relax a little bit, not be as rigid, having more fun, having a little bit more spontaneity, having a little bit more leeway with yourself and with other people. And that's beautiful. I love it. Yeah, I feel like you're getting into a place where you're feeling yourself a lot more over the course of the weekend. Yeah. 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 Yeah, Virgo, I see you having fun this weekend. I see you having fun. I see you enjoying life. I just keep hearing feeling yourself, feeling yourself, feeling yourself. So enjoy it. Just don't overindulge. Just be careful of that. Okay. Just be careful not to overindulge too much. I also feel embracing relationships that are not super close actually will lead to the best experience over the weekend. That's just kind of how I'm getting it. Like, I feel like I felt this with you recently, maybe in the last weekend message or weekly message. I think the weekly. Yeah, like I feel like relationships that are close to the chest, like family or really intimate relationships or people you live with, might actually like get you out of balance almost. And if you're going out and meeting people, talking to people, dating even, I think you're going to have a lot of fun and you're going to actually stay more in balance. It's kind of what I'm getting. All right, let's get a card from my Virgos for the weekend. Can I get a card for Virgo, please, for the weekend? Let's see. Whoa. Seven of Swords and the Star. Wow, the light comes in to see what's been hiding in to show you what's been hiding in the shadows. Wow. Seven of Swords sometimes can also speak of self-sabotage. It speaks of deception and illusions, again, things hiding in the dark. But the Star is coming in to make things real bright. To show who that is hiding behind the rock here. This is coming in different ways. Again, I really don't feel like this is a deceptive person and what have you. I don't feel that at all. I just feel like uncovering things that have been eluding you. But with the Star being there, it's beautiful, right? It's not just you're seeing it. It's like it's bringing it to a level of, how do I say this? Like, it's a spiritual experience. It's a spiritual experience. It's also very healing here. It's also very healing. But I feel like you're going to experience this more if, again, if you're embracing meeting people or you know, dealing with acquaintances or work people, like people who are really close to you right now. I don't feel great about it. It's a weird feeling. I just don't feel great about it. I don't. And as you are trying to establish more of like a whole balanced life system, whole health system, if you will, for your life, yeah, it's like you're also getting the missing pieces. Yeah, Virgo, you're uncovering missing pieces, keys to whole balanced living, keys to fun. That's what you're uncovering this weekend, and it's just been things that have been eluding you. That's really how this feels. If you have been resisting anything, like resisting facing anything about yourself, this weekend, no more of that. Okay, not going to happen. Especially with the star, because sometimes when the star comes in, I feel a little bit of an inevitable divine push. Feel a little bit of that. So if you've been resisting, no more resisting. But I just like things are being uncovered from the dark, and it's just giving you missing pieces. I like it. I get some water. Oh, and we're gonna move on to a new deck because we've used a bit of cards. Okay, I'm gonna move this guy over. Ooh, let's get into Libra. Libs. Hey Libras, you guys ready for your new moon? It is. Oh, that was weird. I just felt something in my sacral. Oh, that felt really weird. Maybe it's gonna be some sacral energies coming up for you. We do have Venus, right? It's a Venus new moon. Interesting. Yeah, tons of sacral energy just came in. But let's look at your astrology for the weekend. So we got some learning with you. I'm seeing a little bit of learning. Ooh, relationships too, huh? Wow, and 12th house, 12th and first house energies between Virgo and Libra, because you are this is based off Libra rising. Again, whole house system, adjust it as you need to for your own chart here. So Libras, you've been learning a lot. You've been facing parts, and this is very collective, but you have been struggling with parts of yourself that, not that you find distasteful, that's not the right word, just that you struggle to utilize is like probably the best way to say that. Like getting more into your own Aries energy as opposed to your Libran energy, getting into your more masculine energy, the part of you that can come in and cause change, that can be assertive and be like, no, right? That can be firm. Boundary setting, boundary setting. You've also got some stuff going on family wise with mother and feminine energy. Yeah, you know, Libra, this to me is actually, you've been on a path where you've been facing more of the parts of you that are maybe, how do I say this? The feminine parts of you that you haven't been seeing in a realistic way. You've been almost relearning what feminine energy is, what mother energy is, and what healthy family systems are. Like you've been learning healthy feminine energy. That's something you've been having to face within yourself. And in doing so, also not being ashamed of the masculine parts of yourself, not being ashamed of the part of you that wants to come in and destroy or come in and say no or do something that's not necessarily in the line of people pleasing or mediation. Almost like getting more acquainted and making peace with the part of you that's not very Libra-esque. Yeah, but God, the family. This feels really big for you, Libra. You're going to have a breakthrough when it comes to family and family relationships, and also relationships as relates to your mothers, or feminine energy as a whole. And in turn, it's also helping you with your relationship with yourself. It's also improving your communication skills, where again, it's like you're not leaning so much into the Libra people pleasing mediation kind of communication, but you're allowing yourself to be assertive. You're allowing yourself to be maybe even a destructive force, even if people don't like it, because sometimes that's just needed. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Libra, you've been getting like shaken. You've been getting shaken at the core of you. Yeah. 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 I know he's saying, yeah. I'm just sitting with it, seeing if anything else wants to come forward. Yeah, this weekend, I think that's what this is going to be about for you this weekend. Even though it is like your new moon, and this new moon comes with a lot of things, lots and lots of things. I mean, actually, potentially, you got some potential here to have shifts in your relationships, especially your familial relationships or relationships with your mother as a mother, or even feminine energies, um, to mend them after like really getting reacquainted with this part of you, really having honest conversations there with yourself and with other people. But I really feel honest conversation with yourself prior to conversations with people, about walking around with yeah, this is getting rooted in family, walking around with family patterns, and especially when it comes to communication, that really has held you back or hasn't been of service to you, has been a disservice to you. If anything, things are just unhealthy and needing to rectify that, mend that. All right, let's get a card for you. We're gonna use. I'm gonna go with Light Seers. Yeah, let's do Light Seers Tarot. Can I get a card for my Librans? Ooh, do you not want? Oh, Clydester! It's moving the camera. Okay, sorry, I gotta move this cat. Get over here. I'm sorry, buddy. Can you lay down on the floor? Thank you. If he knocks his camera over, I was gonna be really upset. Okay. All right, it looks fine. Kitty cats. Okay, Libra. Can I get a card for Libra, please? Wow, these Libra, what's going on with your energy? These cards cannot stay in my hands with you. I'm not shaking it, am I? No. Can I get a card for Libra, please, for the weekend? Wow. 4 of Cups and the 4 of Wands. You got 4-4 here, Libra. I would say that's pretty synchronistic for the weekend. Yeah, you're not happy. This is literally the difference between feeling kind of sad. I'm getting a little bit of self-pity, feeling like nothing is like exciting, kind of mundane, kind of boring. A little bit of depressive energies there too. Between that and like celebrating. Some of you guys, I think, have been isolating yourself or just feeling like you're not part of the group, you're not part of the party. Some of you, it's going to come down to a choice. Realizing that you've kind of been playing either side here of these energies, and you can experience both. What are you really bummed out about? The 4 of Cups feels really restrictive here, Libra, for you. There's a belief system rooted in this 4 of Cups energy that's keeping you from enjoying life, enjoying social groups, maybe even enjoying your own home. It's a belief system. You're ignoring something. You're ignoring something that's part of your belief system that's enabling you to not be in this full sense of enjoyment with this 4 of Wands. Can I get another card for Libra, please? Hierophant. Belief systems, literally, right? Belief systems, traditions, institutions. And these are belief systems that are rooted in family systems for you. At least that's what the astrology indicates, and that's how it's feeling to me. But I'm feeling strong maternal energy tied to that, strong feminine energy tied to that. Whatever your belief system is around your own feminine energy and even masculine energy, that's part of it, as it's rooted in your family system. It doesn't have to come down to like gender. I was gonna say genetics. It doesn't have to come down to strictly gender. When we say feminine energy, it's about like how we feel good, how we are taken care of, right? That's feminine energy. Masculine energy is how we go out and do shit, right? Yeah. Look to your belief systems, look to your family systems. There's some sort of belief system that you adopted from that's keeping you from enjoying life. I feel like it's because it's actually forcing you to ignore a part of yourself that is innately masculine. Wow. All right. Scorpio, Hey, Scorpios. Let's see what we got for you. Scorpio. Scorpio, same with, again, the water signs. Yeah, it's time to come outside a little bit. Come out from under the rock a little bit. I definitely remember this from Patreon too. Clydester. Sorry, guys. Come on. Thank you. Not today, buddy. Can you just sit? Can you just lay down? Please. Lay down. Plop. Plop. Thank you. He plopped. He does this thing where he just like throws himself down on the floor and like throws it and puts his belly up, but he like throws himself. It's so cute. Anyway, I'm sorry. Scorpio. Hi, Scorpios. Yeah, you've been challenged and learning that communication and networking, friendships, how you share yourself is really important. And it's something that's been uncomfortable. I totally get it, Scorpio. Time to be out and about, though. You got 11th house energy going on. Time to be out and about. Time to be talking, engaging with people. You've also been having some shakeups in relationships, very unexpected shakeups. And again, I feel like changes that you don't like, where it's like literally people are showing up in your life that challenge you for your good. I want to say for your good, but it's been hard. Or you have changes that happen in relationships. And it's weird because I feel like it's all really good stuff. Like people get brought to you that are maybe not the norm, like not your norm. Like not the kind of people you would normally be interacting with or dealing with, but it's been really good for your growth and for you to be learning, or maybe even relationships like deepen. It just feels like really good stuff, but I feel a resistance on your end. Like, no. I do. I feel that. It's kind of funny. What else here? What else? Your uniqueness. Yeah, Scorpio, time to share you. Be very expressive about who you really are. I feel like people are going to be responding to you so well. And I think you're going to be more like open than you normally are, but people are going to ask more of you. And if you give yourself permission to go there, it's going to really work out in your favor. Okay. Let's get a card for the Scorpios. For Scorpios for the weekend, I got to keep an eye on time. So bad about that. Oh my god, my camera's gonna die. No, you can't die yet. Shit, I did not even notice that. Oh no. Okay, I might have to do this in 2 parts, guys. I'm gonna try not to, but we'll see. We'll see how long my camera lasts. Can I get a card from my Scorpios, please? Interesting. So we have the 4 swords in reverse. Scorpio, come outside. Come out from under the rock. It's time. Some of you guys, I think, have been hermiting and bubbling for a bit. It's time to be social this weekend. Can I get one more for my Scorpios? And I want to say almost just in time for eclipse season. After the full moon in Aries, we hit eclipse season, guys. And it's going to be very similar to how May was. And May was, I think, hard for everybody. The full moon Taurus is going to be the more karmic feeling moon cycle, as opposed to the new moon Scorpio. Last time it was the full moon Scorpio. Can I get another card for Scorpios for the weekend, please? Can I get another card? Or is this just all Scorpios need to know? Oh, Scorpio. Come out wherever you are. It's time, okay? Look, King of Cups on the bottom. It's time. Oh, interesting. Five of Pentacles got left behind here. Scorpio, you've clearly been struggling with something too. Everybody's been struggling with something. This 5 of Pentacles, I'm feeling like I'm being pinched. Like I'm being like shoved backed into a corner. That's how this 5 of Pentacles feels. You've either been struggling financially or you've been struggling with something hasn't been going right. Something in your life has been making you feel more and more like unsteady. more restricted, like something just keeps going downhill and you can't make it stop. Like that's kind of the kind of feeling I'm getting here. And you've been sitting on it for a long time. But Scorpio, I do think you need a break here. I really feel like you need a break. I feel like people can rally around you at this time. And I feel like people are going to be very captivated by you over this weekend. And they might even be able to give you some help. Okay. But you've been sitting on this for a long time. But even Spirit's like, no, it's time. Time to come out. Come out, come out, come out. Okay. All right, Sagittarius. Saggies. What's going on for my Saggies? Oh, Saggies. I remember. A member. Communication. You've also been learning a lot of lessons when it comes to communication, responsibility of your actions. There's a maturing and leveling up that's happening here for my Saggies. This is again Sag rising, but it's whole house system. Saggies, if you have like other Sag placements, this could still pertain to you. Okay. But yeah, I see that. Improving and reflecting and improving on what effect you have on people when you're communicating, when you're speaking, when you're talking, and the consequences of that. And everything you've been learning there and how you've been improving there is going to help you moving forward in this weekend. Also with responsibility. This responsibility thing keeps coming up here. Taking responsibility for your long-term path, right? Learning not to be as impulsive with your communication and your actions, but that seems to be the biggest thing. There's also, I'm also seeing understanding, how do I say this? What you need out of relationships, what relationships are best for you. But it just feels like it's been learned the hard way through all of, like, I just want to say faulty, irresponsible communication with people. But you are learning a lot, and you've also been you've been humbled a little bit, kind of like Aries. I think it was Aries, kind of like Aries. Seeing what else is going down for you. Saggies, I do see that you also have potential this weekend to be meeting some people who are going to help you to establish more of this long-term path, to be more responsible on this long-term path. You might even come across some teachers here. I'm also getting that feeling intuitively. It's not here astrologically, but I'm feeling that intuitively. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get a card for Saggies. Wow, Ace of Wands. Okay, Saggy, I see you. I see you. I see you. This is drive. This is passion. It also speaks of some sort of newness, almost like a new vitality coming through here. New motivation. You have a new motivation coming in this weekend. It could even be prompted by a person, but it's almost like you got an idea. Something has been triggered within you over this weekend. Can I get one more card for Saggy, please? Wow, Queen of Swords, and it's coming by reflecting. It's coming by way of reflection. You're getting some sort of new idea here this weekend, and it seems like a good one. It's lighting a fire under you to go for it. And I feel like it is part of your long-term path because, again, you have been reflecting a lot on responsibility, your own communication style. Even the Queen of Swords also speaks of communication. This also tells me you have been kind of isolated in doing so, and you're reflecting anyway. But it feels like you've been reflecting on your impact on people and your irresponsibility with long-term path stuff. And you're inspired. You're inspired. You're motivated for something new. And you're doing it as the Queen of Swords, which I really love because the Queen of Swords is pretty responsible. She really weighs up all the facts, you know? It's really nice. All right, Capricorns. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. Ooh, Pluto in the first house. Transformation much? Wow. Okay. Let's see here. Capricorn, very similar to Taurus. You've been dealing with some financial stuff. I can see that. Financial stuff, your own foundation, your path, how you are secure in the world, how you're supported in the world. You've been challenged there. You've been challenged, but I can see you're getting some new ideas when it comes to that. You got some new people possibly coming in to help you with that. And it's all about, yeah, thank you. I remember this from yesterday. It's all about reestablishment. Reestablishment. It's interesting too, because I feel chaos. This chaos, it's like, it happens when you go out. It's weird. It's like, I feel like you encounter chaos and changes to your life in a major way when you go outside. It's the weirdest thing. It's like maybe when you just are meeting people, or like you're trying to go out and have fun. I do feel like when you get in your creative flow, some big things happen, some big things come to you, and it just makes you want to cause change. But then I feel like you get a little reluctant because there's something unpredictable about it. That's so weird. That's so weird. That's so weird. Capricorns, you've also been struggling with feelings of home and safety, security, emotional security. Oh, how to keep that stuff grounded. Some of you have dealt with this for a while, but I think you're mostly over this, at least the Capricorns that I'm speaking to, on being there too much for people, being too much of an anchor. Some of you have really dealt with that already, but it's coming up a little bit, I think, just to be addressed. Yeah. A lot of focus on the self, which I love. I love that for you, Capricorns, because sometimes, Cappies, you really can be there a lot for people and just too much for people, right? So the fact you're focusing on yourself is amazing, especially with Pluto really helping you with this major transformation that you're also going through too. So your foundation is changing, but you're also changing, like, how do I say this? Where you get your security from, your physical and emotional security, your sources of that have been changing significantly. If any of you plan on traveling this weekend or the next couple of weeks, I think they'll be very well aspected if you decide to do that. Same with Aquarius. I know Aquarius, we're going to get to you, but I'm just seeing it. But Capricorns, it's looking good. Doesn't have to be far either. Doesn't have to be far, but I can see meeting people. I can see inspiration, ideas, all that good stuff coming through for you if you decide to travel. All right, let's get a card for Capricorns. They're reminding me about Saturday. So Capricorn, Saturday might be a doozy of a day for you. It's going to be a doozy for the collective, but for you, for Aries, seems to be pretty prominent. I feel like Taurus would have a crazy Saturday too. Can I get a card for Capricorn, please? I get a card for Capricorn for the weekend. I feel like you've been reluctant to date. I don't know why this is coming up for my single Capricorns. You may have been reluctant to date. You might want to try it. You might want to try it this weekend. You might be surprised. You might be asked out soon, and you might be very hesitant, but consider it. I'm just going to say consider it. Oh my God, Capricorns. You ready? Whoa. Look at this jackpot. King of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. Capricorns, you are, again, like I've been saying, right? It's like you're getting reestablished here. You're getting reestablished and finding new ways how to be secure financially and emotionally, right? Maybe even physically. And that's showing up here as the King of Pentacles and 10 of Pentacles. Some of you might be dealing with somebody that you could share a long-term path with. And it's funny because what was I talking about right before I pulled these cards? Try dating. Try it. See what happens. See what big daddy or big mama comes your way. Just think about it. Think about it, Capricorns. But I really do feel like this is you moving deeper into this energy of kind of literally kind of being the big kahuna in your life and maybe even for the people around you. But moving into this place of master of your domain and feeling incredibly secure no matter what chaos goes on in the world. It's amazing, Capricorns. And I feel like it's been a really rough road. Yeah, I feel like it's been a really, really rough road. But as you move into this energy, that also reflects out into the world where people like who have this frequency are going to be drawn to you. Some of you, I think, sorry, this is coming through from my Capricorns. Some of you have always kind of seen yourself as like an emperor, empress. Like even as a kid, maybe you were like, one day I'm going to be like master of my kingdom. Like I will have an empire. And deep down, you knew you needed someone else. Like if you were going to partner with somebody, that they needed their own empire. Like you always knew you'd be matched or partnered with like a big dog, right? I don't know what's all this verbiage I'm using. They're not normal words I use. Well, you're there. You're getting there. If you're not there yet, you're getting there and possibly attracting someone else who has their own empire to join up with you. Okay. In business or in romance. Very nice, Capricorns. But this is about you. Let's not focus on other people right now. This is about you. This is about you in your new levels of security, really getting to your end goal at some point here. It's beautiful. New sense of security, Capricorns. I love it. Long time coming. All right, Aquarius. Ooh, no, my camera. I don't think I'm going to make it. Okay, Aquarius. Pluto 12th house, Saturn 1st house. Yikes. I do remember that from yesterday too. We also have some 8th house energy. We got some 9th house energy. Aqua, you've been going through a major shift and transformation yourself here. Okay. Also closing out some big cycles. I feel like you've had a hard time surrendering to that process. Pluto has been challenging you to surrender that process. Saturn has also been challenging you to surrender that process. And I think it's gotten easier for you to do so though. It's gotten easier for you to do it. And Aquas, you've always been unique. You know, you are Aquarians. You're literally like the unique aliens of the zodiac. But putting yourself out there with people to really show even more so of that is really going to benefit you this weekend. What else is coming through here? I see changes with home. I do see changes with home and family. That's been pretty unpredictable for you and probably really challenge your own sense of security, kind of similar to Capricorn. Yeah, similar to Capricorn. I do see some sexual energy too. I remember that from yesterday. I do see some sexual energy and also some teachers coming through for you too, or maybe even you becoming a teacher. So I would recommend being open to relationships this weekend, really showing all of you, including the things that you were not proud of, the things maybe you are ashamed of, because you are wrapping up some big patterns, cycles, wounds of yours. And you have been going through a major transformation, Aquarius, for a while now, but sharing yourself with people will also allow people to come in for that sexual energy. And also for that teaching energy. Some of you are going to come across spiritual connections, relationships. I'm hearing revisit. Some of you might revisit spiritual relationships and even sexual relationships. But if these sexual relationships, I don't feel anything toxic about them. I actually feel like sexual healing or even like sacred sexual relationships there too that I think will be great for you. So really cool for my Aquas. Let's go ahead and get a card. See how much faster I can go. Can I get a card for my Aquas, please? Can I get a card for my Aquas? Oh, Aqua, the Empress, fertility, abundance, growth, just enjoying life. Oh, so luscious. Can I get another one for my Aquas, please? If you allow yourself to be really open to people, you're going to feel very well taken care of. You're going to feel very appreciated. You're going to feel very seen. Can I get another one for my Aquas? Ooh, that bounced quite a bit. Wow. Interesting. With the Ace of Cups in reverse, I feel healing. Honestly, Aquas, I think this weekend you're in store for some healing, some sexual healing as well, and also just a lot of love and comfort and support from people who you have spiritual connections with, or even like teacher-student relationships with. You've been on a rough road here, Aqua, but if you put yourself out there, it's going to be really beneficial. I swear. You can be loved. Sorry, this had to be said for some of you. You can be loved. Aquas, you get a bad rap sometimes for being very emotionally detached and hard to pin down, but you do have big hearts. Clyde, hold on. But you do have big hearts. And I feel like I'm looking at Aquas who have had a pretty closed off heart. Not to say that you haven't cared, right? But it's been more about availability. You haven't allowed yourself to be emotionally available in a really vulnerable way here, where again, you've shown all of you because you haven't felt like you'd be loved. You haven't felt like you would be taken care of or accepted. And you're facing some of that. Some of you guys are facing some issues around parents, mothers, especially feminine energy, where it's like that feminine love was lacking. Yeah, where that feminine love was really lacking in your life here. Some of you that might really come up with changes around the home, it might trigger that for you. Okay. All right. Pisces. Let's see if we can do this before camera dies. Pisces. What's going on for my Pisceans? Similar to Virgo, with Saturn in the 12th house, which is like your house, and then you have all this 7th house energy, you got this 8th house energy, Pluto going through the 11th. Come on, Clydester. It seems like this weekend, and maybe even in recent past, that you've also been challenged with embracing parts of you that don't come naturally to you, needing to be more practical, needing to be more in the earth plane, so to speak. Not being so loosey-goosey, like being more on top of things. Definitely seeing that. 7th, 8th house energy, you have Pisces, you have a very strong potential this weekend for romance, okay? I mean straight up romance, dating, sex, elevating relationships, confessions of love. Like, I'm seeing a lot of that with Mercury and Venus and the sun and the moon moving between the 7th and 8th houses, whole house system for a lot of you. Definitely seeing that. Glidester. What else is going on here? Yeah, again, I feel like you've been recently almost forced in a way where you felt kind of forced or pushed, almost like you didn't have a choice to focus on more earthly matters, physical plane matters, money, that sort of deal, instead of allowing yourself to be in kind of a free flow, watery state. And it's been uncomfortable, but it's been teaching you a lot, and it's helping to balance you out, teaching you lessons for the long term. But yeah, that 7th, 8th house energy this weekend, a lot about relationships and romance, and also feeling yourself too, because it's like that's kind of your wheelhouse, right? To be within the emotional state, right? To feel sensuality and play and romance and dreamy, mysterious energy. That's very Neptunian. So the fact that the new moon Libra and the energies of the weekend are really supporting the energy, but through the 7th, 8th house, just strap yourself in there. Even if you're single and you're going to be isolated, you might just be feeling this energy a lot. You might be reflecting on relationships a lot too. All right. So let's go ahead and get a card for my Pisceans. Card for Pisces for the weekend. And then I'm going to rush off before this dies. Can I get a card for Pisces, please, for the weekend? Can I get a card for Pisces? Whoa! Page of Cups. Look at that. Open-hearted energy, love, play, poetry, romance. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We also had this pile come out. Am I taking this? No, I'm not taking this. Okay. Can I get one more for my Pisceans? Big open expressions of emotions and love. I do feel also mending of relationships. Just keep in mind, Pisces, because I also feel a little bit of like being so caught up in this energy that you just want to mend all relationships that are like not in good standing at the moment. Maybe not all, but maybe quite a few. Doesn't mean they're going to be open to it. Some of you might encounter where you're feeling this so much and you're just so open and you're just so like going there, and maybe you're not recognizing the other person doesn't. It might get a little pushy, okay? And you might put someone in a bad position, so just be aware of that. All right. Can I get one other card, please, for Pisces? Wow. Yeah, look at you. Oh my God. Page of Cups in the Fool. My Pisces risings, or anyone who has strong Pisces in their chart, you guys might not be able to hold yourself back from telling the people you love that you love them, showering people in love and hugs, and just wanting to be on cloud nine with people. Anybody who has Pisces in your life, like, they might be telling you, hey, I've had a crush on you forever, like, or whatever. It's just so prominent. Pisces, look at you. I love it though. I love it. Just watch impulsivity. Pisces, watch impulsivity, indulgence, and gullibility. It could lean towards self-deception or even backfiring on you, okay? So embrace this energy. It's you. It's very natural. Just keep your head about you, okay? Oh my God, look, Pisces, Nine of Cups. You're so cute, Pisces. All right, guys, I got to go before this dies. Thank you again for hanging out. And I hope the weekend is amazing for all of you. I hope you have a great new moon as well. Don't forget to check out Vimeo, Patreon, and again, all the other stuff, especially if you're interested in more detailed explanation of this new moon and also energies that are upcoming, okay? All right, guys, I got to go. I love you. Take care. Bye-bye.